If you enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, your airboat will run out of fuel. Water hazard. One of the greatest levels in any video game. Commonly referred to as the Canals, it's one of my personal favorite chapters from Half-Life 2, along with Highway 17. So why don't we take a look at what the levels look like in the beta. Let's start with the first map. I'll try and show the maps in their chronological order of development. Keep this starting layout in mind, the two tunnels and this open area. This is the foundation on which the map designers went with. My immediate thoughts were that they were trying to connect this area with the wasteland we saw in an earlier video. There are a couple of bull squids and a citizens, and apart from that it's mostly empty. I guess they were just starting out. In the next revision, they create a design that stays for a long time. This exit and then a sharp turn to the right. In the surroundings, we can see what remains of the old city. Now, the old city is an elusive term if we talk about Half-Life 2's beta. It's supposed to be the remains of a city that was invaded and destroyed by the Combine, and it is located right next to what we know as City 17, or the new city. Overall, it's a simple map. I like this at the start. A couple of buildings that you can see beyond the wall. Seems to signify that you're outside of the city now. The scale of the buildings look a bit off. They look a bit small. But I like the fact that even from the outside, the city looks very American. In the next map, they changed the lighting a bit, added some details in the map to make it look more depressing than before. Apart from that, they raised up the walls at the beginning and removed those little buildings we saw previously. Moving on, the map now has helicopters. Little details are added like more ruins, signs, differing textures and better lighting. The canals in the beta feel more restricted compared to the open world design of the retail. I imagine most of this starting section would have been on foot instead of a jet ski or an airboat. In fact, all of the canal maps present in the beta files are supposed to be traversed by foot. The ones where Gordon would have used the jet ski/airboat were never developed. At least that's what I assume. I think they started from scratch and created the new ones we know today in retail. Those city buildings from the previous map get an upgrade in this one and look absolutely amazing. Now they're actual skyscrapers. I like the feel of these maps so far, familiar and new at the same time. You could say that a lot of work that they did for the beta canals wasn't scrapped, but rather reused or modified for the retail level. This is the last revision of the map that I have. We'll see it again near the end of the video. After moving on from that little outpost where the citizen was hiding, the canals start to expand a little bit. Like Water Hazard, the beta canals also have a lot of Combine soldiers in them trying to stop us. There weren't no specific sequences that I noticed, but in all of the revisions of this map, two specific Combine soldiers always exploded. You'll see them shortly. One on the bridge, and one on the sidewalk of the canals. Originally, the canals connected directly with the wasteland, which would connect with Ravenholm. And you'll notice a bit of the wasteland in the background, at least some influence of the wasteland. There's also a sort of a freeway, a road that continues on along with the canals. And when you reach the end of this map, the wasteland aesthetic is visible in the area. This U-turn in the canals, I definitely think this was kept and used in the retail. I remember this part. Apart from that, I find the urban American setting in the surrounding very interesting. The next revision. For some reason, this one lacks a few things that the previous one had. There's no helicopter in this map, no combine, and that area at the end is missing. But we still have those two exploding soldiers though. From its name, it's the next sequential revision, but it feels like an earlier draft. The next revision is the same as the first one, only has the ending area upgraded. At the ending area, you can now find these shanties and some citizens. And reason for that is because of the little hideout these citizens have. This is the shanty town, I guess. It's a really rough map and I can't seem to find what was the point of this area. It looks like the citizens that escaped from the Combine now live here. Strange map, but intriguing as well. This was a strange map as well. I don't see how this one was connected with the others. It starts off with these pipes that leads to a bridge where Combine soldiers are waiting for us. There are also a couple of APCs, but nothing else. This might have been a test map. This one is called Canals_cave. It's simple, really. A cave that has antlions. Reminds me of some areas from episode 1 and episode 2. But nothing special here. Canals_current seems to imply that this was the current version they were working on when the files were leaked. At least the name implies that. Of course, it has the exploding combines as well. It's almost the same map we looked at earlier, just has a brighter ambient light compared to the golden ones in the earlier maps. But it feels a little bit empty. Of course, there are more maps related to the canals, but unfortunately I don't have them in my files. So instead we'll look at some fixed maps that the community made. This first one is a major overhaul to the previous maps we were looking at. Instead of the usual route, it starts off with us jumping in this little area and then moving out to what appears to be all new. I'm not sure if this is all based on actual beta maps, but it is great to look at. This section of the map has been completely changed to fit the later styles of the beta. Traversing through the map, we reach a familiar place, the citizen and his outpost. When we passed through his place, the next map is an updated version of the maps we looked at earlier. It is mostly the same map, the only change being that the water looks better. Instead of a static texture, it's that signature style of water that Half-Life 2 is known for. And unfortunately, the combines do not explode in this version of the map. This one is called Canal_bridge. Now I can't seem to figure out where this map should be in the sequence of the Canals map. But the sheer scope of the bridge above us makes this amazing. I didn't find any set path that I could follow, so I assume this is one of those self-contained concept maps. You know, the maps that just show off a specific design style. Whoever made this did an amazing job. Great map. Canal_city is a simple map. It's a straight line of water with the city buildings on each side. Interestingly, the whole design looks like a place that you might find in the Netherlands or France or Venus, Italy. This one is also called Canal_city, but it's very basic. It has a dried up canal that goes from one end to the other side of the map. And on each side, left and right, there are some buildings. Looks nice, but not that great. Canal_jet ski looked interesting, but unfortunately the jet ski's control were shit, so I just proceeded further on foot. It's a narrow map with some combined metro cops, nothing special. The last map we'll look at is about the little shantytown. I was hoping that it would be a proper fix, but all the author did was plop in some NPCs, some furniture, and called it a day. Disappointing, if I'm honest. And there you have it, the beta Canals. I really liked the maps, especially how they went from nothing to a proper layout. But I feel as if there's more, like there are more maps out there, but I can't find them. I say that because if we put these maps in sequence, they're very short, and we know the retail Canals level were very long. I had read somewhere that the original Canal chapter would have been extremely long and they were cut down to what we have today. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.